Minia Yabi Menu Elmenchans and Minia David Tamako as a woman cha and a pay minimum AD and commotion a day in Supreme Court who send some every Yapono so and a pay Yedi and Encomo. Any other matters we will table for discussion and a pay. But 24 Memo Akwaba Abbott Medini so and a pay. Dave, good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Any idea? Beyond where you may from now. I mean, him same repem versus an adjoin.
Well, I some of my idea.
Yeah,
so we say, no, oh, you're watching it, no. Because they are suddenly why you already They means me can
be a beshas baby. Make sure so because we shall say and pay.
additional doors, man.
Additional doors
do.
No easy.
I mean,
yo,
say the address the menu me won't change. So when you train ourselves, Obeno, and Jojo Nakuma. No,
well, yes, I say, yeah, matter be I antibla if you say we should discuss this morning.
Oh, sometimes say, we can have a chair for Yachia after 4 swimming. I think weekend in Quenchia see or between a suboy and Quenchia by Quincy who are school for Nipa and Kono, but as at this morning, I say Ababe Edu and Nkoko so also Nipa Enum and so and also find a newspaper anima. I say over the a friend if free a few we are a shall say this and be Nipa or mushroom on true Quenchia. A idea a dozen yipa and send a catcher Ghana for ne can catch and for no unquakraw and intino as a shane and a montubia be true or the bonny paho by and can come one babbit now hermono. I say utime yes and share no and I bind so a family and so to me and can national road safety and the Ghana police service. And no shame when she had na esi bebre na ni nyina no yen suban na ide bebre aba because o tie ne esi wo suboya ma nipa enkono anase nipa du afrim sesie ya ne omo eka ene se na ka bia pakisi kwan nchen ana ka bia sei na pakisi ho we driver na amanfo se na order no and I wonder how they got to know about it say na order because car no eko. Oh, now how do you know say driver and a say driver and but whatever the case may be, human element and these elements, you know, including your friends saying car na asaya apakisi hono. It brings to back the issue about towing services, you know. Me say a properly laid or a properly arranged national tow service. Your needed infrastructure now, and I say needed facilities. A bit me, I'm a shena yak clients one can. Because sometimes I mean, kaka, now I'm careful. When she are to sono, and when she are to so, India, na obi bicycle be na say, we jano, obi cabin na say, no, we jano, and as a car no, I say, odious is equaling fin and fan of we jano ho. I dare channel about befa. One year careful, walk to so, Odoka boom, Okana say, and Quenchia, woo. And these are some of the things that I expect police for, say, and commit to one or more. Now, face to crown police service, any a fence, a rule safety for no. I say to me, yes, share, or Moncasa on their own. They don't need to wait for anybody to tell them. On their own.
Yeah, I mean, interrupt you for a second. Now, very important one we in Chemu say, among fun, I understand, most of you don't get our WhatsApp number, no, and me repeat WhatsApp number, no, and farm for. Some people want to text onto the show, but one more in your WhatsApp number, will be text. Number is 02022222067. Mesanso etimubium 020 022222067 anti mo a mo pese mo text here muntimi and text because munim your WhatsApp number no but your WhatsApp number no and that your screens no as no 02022222067 anti o comment bia episode ben ya but o de fa sa number yin so a yen sa ebeka ne yakan e de amamfo anti mo pese mo WhatsApp here nyina no but that's the number for you. Yeah, sorry for the interruption.
Okay, Chisame, Sanke free Accra Airport Kumasi. Yeah, Zumi say 100 kilometers, just for the sake of this discussion. Yeah, Zumi say 180 kilometers. Into Uchemu, 60 kilometers. Uchemu miensa 60 kilometers to cover that distance. In every 60 kilometer, there's a point here. Ebia MTTD for any road safety for any towing service for Ewoho. Into within that 60 kilometer range, car be a best ABS sequence no. That is where you will see that car. Now the needed charge, I say the charge or near charge na what for our car ko. But so car best say sequence no way jan ho. I say to say ye bibia I say sometimes we exhibit some level of recklessness on our part as a people, and you wonder say anti say nipa na all bano o nwie ne ho. So wo car na say na waja ho bon say car say na say bia your friends say nimtree leaves na ye bubu na ye gu ho. Ebi banchi bibi na de ato ho ebi a gallon bi na de asi ho na yeko, and we just look on. Nobody appears to be taking decisions to deal with some of these things. And the other question, no matter how reckless that person is, who say school for mako edu se see your more free me omoko, no amount of your weeping, no amount of your discussion, nothing will bring those people back. And I think say emra so say ye behwe na enhyehyɛ ne niema a ebetimi ama your friends ama san kwanhye we no ano abrase no me gi say the bar ebetimi aboa na fe so ye sanction enkrofo so as well because o car asay esikwan finfin wan tu anamo bia na wagya car no ho isan say wo fi say kwan ne yodea wagya no ho kɔ ade kye a eno afi na no mechanic na so no fita na ma ba behwe car no. Na say out of that, so be wu a nipa na wu wa ka see ho nothing happens to you.
But yeah, you better say deliberate to be ever parking a car as say esikwemo. She tow trucks are a my way say mo. So be who opa yen kwa chimota overhead honum. Na minu mini yen kosi e kwa kope a tow truck. A sa rickety old Land Rover ni bi. And
we don't have private people and
yes.
So the state Ghana and ne sa your friends say and so Bekai Emrebi HM, of course there was this private developer and we all mentioned his name, your friend says Zoom Lion or attempted NDC MPP for NAADD and as our project no more abandoned.
Was he NDC MPP or was Ghanaians? Yeah, was he MPP NDC or it was Ghanaians?
When there's a political decision,
but was it a political decision?
When there's a will, rather, not a political decision, but when there's a will, because some say if I say Ghana for a year day, and I can for an as painful baby say it your young who I said, you see it, you would be car a sassy council. Ye den hyehyɛ ba sa cars na say sequence so den kwanhyia ba no nti wo gidi se sa school foi nipa duye o mo afrim sesiye no se na hyehyɛ wo ho na yayi sa car na free ho a and say even taking that car out of that place I be cost to my Ghana no I mean whatever amount it will cost. Do you think say sika no esom bo chen nipa na mo ahwe o mo nkwa no?
No, and yeah, sementimi nkasa
obi a enti no sa me gidi se say you didn't share ba now you been that political will. It was all the parties most of the time no more share what will near to their benefit. Say be and be bana NDC opposition and as MPP opposition. Now omunyati de kakra bia na omodo ho agim because so long as they didn't air ban omodo ho agim impression will be created say they are fighting for. But something when it has to do with human life. Charlie Sika nye bibia o. Sika nye bibia. I mean, and I always use this example. Nti wo gidi se ebia enimdiefo aba ebe ka kire Ghana for say ye man panyin a nyame to nsa frɛ no akonnwa so no Ghana be hia $1 billion ama na tena se a do you think says ko bi bekasa because his life was more important than sikana ewo ho no. Please. I'm not interested in your mischief. Please. And the point is that, no matter how much money it will cost, it is important. Human life is more important than any amount of money.
All right. Dave.
Funny NDC ni MPP die. Futu na medebe man say Ghana is not all about NDC MPP.
I'm not sure this is an issue you want to. You're supposed to pick an issue and give your 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, man can say, "Oh,
yeah."
But have you on this way?
Me say name you.
Man land no the land we are no there.
I don't want it.
See,
we mean I'm here ya because I'm a bully and I'm a dictator.
Na em say
Man land.
Em say asama worker efa akwanhia ACC particularly this past weekend. And only a road safety forecaster, Afina Casano, we have Quensia ACC, Nipa Yefri, Ewo Aquensia Emuno, a idea, a Nienya, and a idea we would have to, as a nation, sit down on it. If I say sit down, not the sitting down we've been hearing from the Jubilee House. Sit down on it and think how best we can resolve this national crisis of road accidents. I think it's becoming one too many. We've lost very important people, the nation's futures to accident. And to think that a nation which seeks to be counted among the top nations globally, we cannot sit here and always be lamenting on accidents. And particularly when you look at it, of course, when they said accidents are things that you do not anticipate to happen, and they do happen. But it's looking like our accidents are no longer accidents. They are becoming things that we all expect would happen, and they do happen. We do nothing about them, and they do happen. And that is worrying. Among the things that are causing this accident, apart from what my brother mentioned, regarding the abandoned vehicles on the road, it's also the road. Our roads have become very dilapidated, and when you see governments who try to play lip service to everything, want to show you that they are doing something about road, they go to the urban centers and put some small gravels and bitumen on the road and make it look like it's tight. But the roads that people ply long journeys on are very, very bad. When you travel from here to Kumasi, there are parts of the road that are very bad. From there to Sunyani, very, very bad roads you find on the way. If you go from here to Ho, whether you are using the Eastern Corridor Road, you are using the Sogakope Road, they are very, very bad roads. And we pay road tolls. We pay road tolls. And like I said, if the country, is where we all think ahead of our problems and resolve them before they become major, I think that when people collect road tolls, they would have done something about this abandoned vehicles on the road. I recall when in 2017, the government sought to tax Ghanaians for road towing of vehicles. It became a major issue because people thought that so much is being taken away from us in the name of tax. But I think that we need to really look at our road problems. The carnage on our road is becoming too many, and it looks like it's killed more people than COVID had killed people. The monies that were pushed into COVID, if we push that's about 20% into road carnage issues, we should be able to resolve this problem. And I think that it's about time we start taking it serious. And of course, There's another issue. This police people. Most of the road you fly, you find police people on the road, and sadly enough, rather than paying attention to some of these things, the attention is in extorting money from the public, and it's sad to say. I said that when Dr. Dampari, my senior brother, became the IGP, I had a lot of confidence. Of course, he started, trying to push for some disciplines to happen. But it looks like our roads are still, inundated with police officers who try to, extort money from people on the road, rather than paying attention to things that will make the road safe for all of us. I would urge Dr. Dampari to also focus very much on the road and get police officers who are well trained and well disciplined to be on our road to help curb down some of these accidents.
All right.
So,
Dave, Medawase for submission. No, yen to us in major issue and pay, and that has to do with Parliament and then the judiciary. Issues to do with whether the deputy speakers can count themselves in as members of Parliament for a quorum to be reached before voting commences. Whether they sitting in as acting speakers or speakers can also participate in the voting process. Yeah, the Supreme Court, really. When we're ruling about Alternate, there's been several reactions to the ruling by the Supreme Court. Near share name somebody full judgments in a judgments in Abba Yakin Kaibia. We've seen the content therein as to why the Supreme Court unanimously decided that if a second deputy speaker or a first deputy speaker is certain or right to say Obetuaba or Parliament. Yeah, me find Shasena or thoughts on the Supreme Court ruling.
I thought you start with this. Well, obviously, he has a better appreciation of the law than I do. But notwithstanding that, Meboa.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, no, but
The two person start here now.
Same Obekai, I think 93, between 93 and 95 thereabout, MPP went to court over GBC. I'm talking about Supreme Court issues here, over GBC and fair coverage.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court ruled that when it comes to fair coverage, GBC had no discretion, that you give fair coverage to all the parties. They also went to court over whether you can demonstrate or not, and if you have to demonstrate, do you need permission from the police? And the Supreme Court said no, you also don't need permission from the police. All these things are constitutional interpretations. And yebu or my, I didn't think my yewo omampanyine na pamfo. The omrashebadwa for and yewo atimwa for. Omunyina no ne omunyina de omunyansa ba ene nsentro for omunyina de omunyansa ba ene ma omma no kanko ene ewie peye na yensoso tibamfo no yede aba beka ho na omma na timi atwumpon. Enti se entiasie bi enye adwuma ewo mremu a ma bi ede kɔ eye Supreme Court eho na yekɔ a mpanyfo omo nyame ache omo ade anaso omo timi asua ade omo nim mra no omo kyerɛkyerɛ omo adwen na omo de nkyerɛkyerɛ mo ba na yi atumi ato yi. Over the past few weeks or months there has been this debate say obi a oye second deputy or ye deputy speaker, not either first or second, irrespective. No, obetimi ato aba na say ontimi nto aba. Abroad here akonwa mu. And for us as lay people, no, we all came to one conclusion: say, nipa no one oye mrehye badwani, ansa na ɔkɔ ifie hɔ. Enti so oye deputy speaker na onye deputy speaker no, it must not deny him the right to vote as a member of Parliament, which is the most important thing. And on the 15th of course, Ntokwa ACC over these matters in the House itself. And so everybody thought that, look, there must be an end to it. And to deal with it, we need a Supreme Court interpretation. And Madam for Justice Ebulai, or they call Supreme Court for interpretation. And indeed, when on the 15th of last month or so, the Speaker, Bagman, endorsed that decision and that move by Justice Abdullahi to go to Supreme Court for interpretation. Because at the end of the day, you know, say be a mining can call, and a mamu na yepe. Tama MPP call court in the early 90s over GBC and fair coverage, you know. It was just to help the development of Ghana because first, you know, MPP for or more a court GBC, they won't give them the audience. They will not invite them to also come and share their view. And so when the 1993 budget came and MPP felt that they needed to make a presentation and they were denied, the best thing to do was to go to court. And the current president, Nana Akufo-Addo, Peter Alajete, Darocha and others were all involved. And the Supreme Court says, no, GBC, you cannot do that. The new constitution mandates you to give fair coverage to all the political parties. And so that, since that time, it has cured any form of, the friends say, attempt to stop any political party from having his or their views heard on issues of national importance. And so when this matter came, well, we were all offering a form of explanation or a form of opinion. And so this man was bold enough to say that, look, let's go to the Supreme Court for proper interpretation of whatever the issues are. He went to court. The court has given a verdict. And everybody is offering an opinion. And you ask yourself, say, so what were they expecting the court to do? Well, were we not all expecting a verdict? Were we expecting the court to say, a deputy speaker cannot vote? If there had been the verdict, until the court has also come out to say, per the understanding of the law or per their interpretation of the constitution and an understanding of the law, no, a deputy speaker has a right to vote. And the reason they say so is based on the fact that one, or a member of parliament. And then people will also say, as the former president has been saying, say, Nipano etwa banibia, it will undermine the neutrality and all those things. But you ask yourself, say, the Speaker of Parliament, in this case, Right Honorable ASK Bagman, any member of Parliament, and all speakers in Ghana's Parliament, from Justice D.F. Annan to Peter Alajete, Sechi Hughes, Bamford Addo, to Honorable Doa Jaho, Professor Michael Quay, and your friends, Ura Bagman. Omunyina enye members of Parliament, so they have no right to participate in the vote. But Sabio, all deputy speakers are members of Parliament. From Kendrasa to Do Ajaho to Kendrasa, MPP chairman, Freddie Blay, and Freddie Blay. It didn't be breed. But the point is that Deputy Speaker Bia Echmetwaba. It was just that it wasn't at this time, no, it has become an issue because now there are issues with numbers. And so should the Speaker or Deputy Speaker vote or he should not vote? That's what Echmetwaba. And the Supreme Court has given that interpretation clear. So you ask yourself, the issues coming up. And the disappointment first will start with the Speaker because one, Oyemrenimni, you can't a lawyer for more being Ghana as here, or the Nebeka home. And it's a Supreme Court, a man chichimu, and then you pick your pen and paper to issue a statement to make all manner of your friend saying, raising all manner of issues with the decision of the Supreme Court. When you were encouraging it and endorsing members who desire to have that matter interpreted by the Supreme Court to do so, it's extremely disappointing. And
but is it against the law? So Obe have a contrary view?
Of course, it's not against the law. He's entitled to it. And everybody, for me, all persons who are talking and who are sharing their views, they are all entitled to it. Like you and I are sharing our view because it enhances the system. Because in the end, matter resolved. Supreme Court has come out to say, look, say. But the impression being created, say, is sunset MPP na was nti na decision no ebe favor MPP nti and a Supreme Court for mass decision no. But yeah, na you referee niema bebre. You will come and say Supreme Court they give judgment based on issues you present to them. 2014 also they gave a 7-0. I think it's the front of the page of a friend saying Dispatch. They have done a story in respect of the Supreme Court ruling, and I say a friend says that particular decision we inquire at the first time I see. So the politics around it and the politicians trying to make people look like it's a politically motivated decision as being suggested by the former president. It doesn't help. And more because when you were the president and the decision came and it came in favor, he didn't say anything. And if you observe, and it's something that I have observed as a person, and maybe some, of course, everybody is entitled to disagree, which is important also. Anytime there's a decision that doesn't go the way and the wish of the NDC, the noise and the allegations and the issues raised to create a certain impression that somebody is being manipulated to give a certain judgment, it's not in favor, and more or minor. Much as you can, and there are decent lawyers in the NDC that can analyze the situation and point out the issues. That's why when you asked me to speak, I was David has a fair idea of everything as far as the law is concerned. So they are supposed to give us a fair understanding. Say, these are the reasons the Supreme Court for they err in their judgment. And we are suffering. And I say, almost speakers of parliament, they are members of parliament. And so those people are not denied the right to vote. And then some people will go to the committee level where a chairman of a committee will not vote until there's a tie. But if there's a tie in parliament, will the right honorable speaker be able to vote? No, because only a member of parliament. And so if you want to avoid a situation where deputy speakers will not vote, then let's review the constitution and say, then deputy speakers should also not be members of parliament. So the same way you elected the speaker of parliament, then deputy speakers should also be elected, but not as being members of parliament. They say officials, but when it has to do with decision, we are not part of it.
Would they, as second deputy speakers, would they be engaged in debates that go on in parliament, seeing that they are representing a constituency and that the constituency's voice must be heard, though they are chairing?
Of course, there's no provision in the constitution or in their standing orders that stops them from participating. But since Wababe mediator, for the debate, you participating really, for me, I will not endorse it.
Why not? Because the people's voice must be heard.
Oh, but
he's a member of parliament first.
So then we need to stretch it and say, everybody in the chamber should have their voice heard. Everybody. If we are going to go by that logic, it means that. So yeah.
No, but we are talking specifics, not generality.
Yes.
We are talking about an individual who is a member of parliament, voted by his constituents to go and champion their cause in parliament.
Yes.
And the argument that is being made now is that if the Supreme Court says that their rights to vote, their rights to be counted as members of parliament when it comes to the formation of a quorum, to allow for certain actions to be taken, cannot be taken away from them because they are members of parliament first, who are representing their constituents. Would it not be fair to then ask, say, why should they not participate in debates?
That's what the lawyers will tell you, that if the Supreme Court wanted them to be part of the debate, they would have said so. And the same thing applies about the speaker, why the speaker cannot vote. The speaker cannot vote, and that is stated in the Constitution. By the constitutions or the framers of the Constitution wanted deputy speakers also not to vote, that would have also been stated in the Constitution.
But you and I know, say, 102, 103, 104, if it was that explicit in terms of its understanding, plain language, we wouldn't have gone to the Supreme Court for them to explain to us what that thing meant. Because for the generality of Ghanaians, it virtually meant, and I held that position too, that they couldn't vote and that they could not count themselves as.
So long as
you remember, I think I saw a video.
So long as they take over the chair.
Yes.
But when they are not in the chair,
they have every right to.
But that so when they are not in the chair, they are not deputy speakers.
When they are not in the chair.
Yes.
They are not the speaker.
But they are not deputy speakers.
They are deputy speakers.
They are deputy speakers.
But they are not the speaker.
We will not have a finality. The disagreement or the interpretation will always differ. But there must be an authority to say that, look, from our understanding of the law, this is what is meant.
Yeah, the reason why I know maybe me who video be I think on one of the social media platforms, Joe Wise himself categorically says so, informing the numbers for a decision to be arrived at, he's not barred from doing so. But in voting, I know you want to make a casting a vote. There's a video, I saw it on one of the platforms where he makes that statement.
I don't get the point.
Let me look for the video so that if I find it, I'll play it.
Informing the numbers. Informing the numbers to have a quorum.
Yes.
For a decision to be made.
He can
be part of it.
Yes.
Yes.
But so okotwaba.
But see, here at this point in time, it is not about what Joe Wise thinks. It is about the Supreme Court. But we are
all also learning. Yes, we are all learning.
Yeah, because before the Supreme Court decision, we all had a view on it. And we all decided that, look, Yanko Supreme Court, Yanko Jinchim, we sense a bam remo and I say, your constitution, I de a boo mine or more, and the wood to me so much match into your cormo, na say, and or more than chichimoaba. So, or more in Yansemu, and your Montiasi mono. Say, Obi a deputy speaker or Tuaba on form emra. And also they have given that interpretation. But as to whether it should have been stretched to also mean, say, a deputy speaker can also participate in the debate. Of course, in debate in the House, deputy speakers offer views. Just that, and yet as thorough as they sitting, friends, when they are not on the chair.
All right, Dave. Let me pick your thoughts on this matter. I see that Audu has sent me a text message. I mean, and kind Audu text message, because Audu is also an integral part of production. And he sent me a message to notify me that our sound was off somewhere. Audu, thank you very much for the feedback. But Audu says that the issue of debate is a moot point. It is not every MP who debates on the floor of Parliament, but they are all entitled to vote when decisions are being taken. Audu. And so if you are or express it and pay eligibility, so Dave.
We know that say, Michelle Minia would do. I'm say, there a course over, I think, on Friday, decision Supreme Court, a take on whether or not Deputy Speaker, et me et to Abamani, et me to Abamani, it has been very much dissected over the weekend, and we are all sharing our opinions. To start with, say some people think people should not share their opinion on this subject, be it a former president, be it the speaker, that they do not have the right to share their opinion on what the Supreme Court judgment is. Like you pointed out to my brother Yao, there is no law, absolutely no law in this country that precludes anyone from sharing an opinion on judgments made by the decision of the Supreme Court. None. Even the Supreme Court judges who sit on the case, they are allowed to make comments even after the judgments have been made, save that they find it, inappropriate to pass comments on judgment that they have made already or their colleagues have made. But absolutely no law that precludes anyone from passing opinions or judgments on this thing. You have to do it within the rigors of the law, and nothing prevents them. Why are we where we are? I mean, I think to start with that, the judgment, the entire process of having this matter sent to Supreme Court at this point in time was unnecessary. That's what I would have said. That notwithstanding, the Article 2.1, Article 2, we can call 1, 2, 1 more. It shows where any citizen of this country or wherever thinks any institution and I say maybe a war a tia mrapona a constitution which is the supreme constitution and it is a Bible. So maybe a war a tiana I was say Nipano Edwanico Supreme Court Ekonya Nchichiremu. Now can you ba Article 130 Honswa and so say ebia institution bi nyina say e mrampon ase constitution ase since institution bi e feel say eye ade bia etia mrapon na Supreme Court ene won hu a friends right e won mandate say o chirechiremu say asema mrapon no e kire eni say e ka say a friends parliament is independent from the judiciary and from the executive side. This is what it means. That's just an example. Nti bibia obianti ase bia efa emra ewo hon ya ewo hia nchechiremu no Supreme Court ena won hu ban say omo chechiremu em say nu nti na Abdullahi Justice Abdullahi no edi asam no e call Supreme Court e bisa nchechiremu na wohwe emra no mu emra na ewo hon ankasa no say dey see every chance even though you dey mandate na ma Supreme Court no emra wo ho a che akwan a ewo say Supreme Court efa so interpret sa emra ya friends enyoma ye di akọ omonchen na say me wo me law class dey chere me ni say Supreme Court omutumi edi emra editia omamra omo ahye dada and but bibia omo ye bia no bibia obia ye bia no say follow within the constitution nti ena constitution no say interpretation no omo ye a omo hwea na omo ankasa omo ye nipa ti etimi ye omo den say asema emra pon no e ka ye ni na wo hwe mu a etimi kire say nti say na emfanfa na emra ne kire say dru ho na eba say omo be take decision omo be kire say amra no a omo bu kompo hwe omo achi ehwe say startama na ye emra no na adwin ben na e won krofo omo tena ase ye emra no na adwin ben na e won omo trim senti e ka say obia friends say parliament executives and friends judiciary separate entities. They are all independent in their own way. DNA ba krofo omo tena ase ye emra no adwin mu say omo nya ni independent. They go there. They call the canons of interpretation. Omuko ho kohwe say DNA ba omo adwuma at that time. And I say omo ye mra no omo dwen hu say omo debate kakra hu say sa nyoma we nti na yem nye mra no ma ne nye sei. Omo timi ko ho. On say so omo timi ko ehwe omo anim. Ehwe bebia ye wo no. Ehu say bebia oman na edru. No. Say mra no ye kirem kwose a eneboa oman no. Nti they look at so many things and they take a decision. Nti it is in their bosom. Then can say the law is in the bosom of the judge. They have vast right and liberty to decide where they want a particular decision to go. But when him Emra nipa, and in the case of the constitution, it is for the country. The culture say the constitution has spirit in it. The spirit is interpreted to mean say bibia ye dru bibia ye bia no ye morality ye bibia ye spirit a share constitution mu nti eti omu church emra no with the spirit a ena ye ka so say emra no de bia eti ase because ye hwe nyoma esisisi a ne a kire emra no mu ama ne and enough afam. So the question will be asked, what necessitated this decision? Near dear Bena justices no, Omutina say dream who say Emma and Tia Omu taking sad decisions way. Me, my drink it to meditate hano. Ushia. Say who here baby a sans semi free ya just say ye pass E11 speaker Ekofa a friend say Omu call parliament don't come money don't kese no munya tena say Mujun who say Omu ye debate ni we and almost Omu be pass E11 no Omu budget no Omu be 2 8 na say the budget no hono ekoba ya there was no clear understanding as to which part of the house won the debate won the votes and majority no every parliament and the decision was taken the speaker pose question say one mun opinion say a budget no yenje ntum omu nyina say omu nje ntum omu ana mo house on omu say omu nje ntum and koba say reject budget no a call your name kakrana a friend we reject budget and majority na kasa sabe ba parliament without minority no omu suka say budget aye ka say reject no omu atu team and a call your name omu tu team we no omu saba parliament bium na afi omu nyina ewo ho omu be take decision and deputy speaker no oti Joe say usu possible question is how mun opinion say yenji budget ntuma na say man yenji ntum ho no omu ye ya omu obi apagya ni say omu ye bi no e no no free mu omu osanka oye county no e no free mu a oma ni deputy be si na ne enka ekọ si na ne mu akoto aba no ma onu so akoto aba no na ni deputy ato aba na wi na sasen we udwin ho a ebibia ni ho a oka obi a we nyansafo ebeti ase say obi a watena ase na wo aye a friend say referee a wo team match ma wo hwe ma match na akoso yi na wasa akoto aba otu wi a na oba na say prayer one be juzo what I say and any problem no until you look at it this way but now me can say Supreme Court take decision was I we want ye nyina nim say omanu at this time sa eyini see here no so we share public opinion and of course public opinions do influence judgments we share public opinion ni eyi a course nyina na edin say ubeji sa Supreme Court decision ye etuma without commenting on it so I find it difficult to think say to believe say nkrofo a omu ejidi say democracy eye na okabima mikabi eye no ebeka say my be enchire omu adwen fa sa assembly no na the other part nso say perception eye very very critical in building of nations and this perception whether it is against or for have some turning effects. There are perception as we sit here. Say Supreme Court for some time now no. Modi since na echo backroom. Echo one side. Yeah, reasoning or decision on why year ankasa no. It becomes another controversy. Now decision echo asem call Supreme Court na omudwen ho a. It is expected say asem kwa himfie na himfie ahonfo ohin no e ka asem no wi a enti ase ba at least anya bia o di ohin no asem no afutu odi ama eni de ma o susu say asem no enko say a udwen ho a say asem no tia okra na otimi ho aba bi wo say asem a odi ko 2 year odi to baby odi 2 year no at least aye penyin adwen na perception ni say the Supreme Court say pre bia betwem and say ekoi decision bia beba bia no decision ba na no ankasa say controversy.
But you also agree with me say that perception you talk about say and one side and there's also another perception say Supreme Court for fair and just. depending upon where you stand. Beboa.
You see, I am on the street, gathering what the people say. The Emima Gadan, HM say, the perception, HM say, time be a Supreme Court, say, I take a decision. You know, we take a decision here. Decision is subject of controversy. That is the perception I have gathered. I don't know what you have gathered. I don't know what Yao has gathered. But I'm sharing my opinion here that the perception out there that the Supreme Court's decisions are becoming very controversial in their own, very high. Now, this perception also feeds into the point, say Supreme Court composition as it is now, it looks too packed by one president and mostly by persons. We have perception. There are perceptions out there. We have heard the likes of Dr. Atuguba. We have heard so many people talked about the packing of the Supreme Court.
Manelande.
And these kind of perceptions are not good for any institution. So the judiciary may have to purge itself of that perception. They have to consider like I said from the beginning, these decisions are taken in the spirit of the Constitution. And if they are done so, it must be a decision that after taking it, the entire country, even those who are not are affected negatively by the decision, will see through and see, say, this is a decision, eto asumu, no matter, say, etiaye. Now, Ochinebi says, decide decision now to her, na the assembly ebe farinwa, it will not inure to the disgrace of the country.
All right. Maybe so. And are we suggesting, say, when judges are nominated, they go through vetting on parliament every year, regardless of political party or nominee here or vetting pass every year, no. Then our judges, when they get to sit on cases, they rule based upon who appointed them. Is that what we are saying?
Look, these suggestions have been made in the past. It is not for me to say they rule based on who appoints them. But like I said, perceptions are very, very critical in this. I do some good governance research all the time on my own for some institutions, both home and abroad. And the questions that the yardstick for measuring good governance often borders on perceptions as well. And I'm saying, these perceptions count. And it is for every institution, be it the executives, be it the parliament or judiciary. They must be very wary of perceptions.
All right.
And when the perception becomes too obvious, it poses problem for the institution.
All right.
It is a fact. Say, this current Supreme Court composition has at least about 10 members of the president's appointees. That is enough to stir perceptions. To go beyond that, to suggest that every other decision, composition of bench for decisions which are so political will be done in a way that becomes controversial, is another blow for perception. So the Supreme Court must look at this, or the judiciary must look at this.
But would it be the fault of the president to say, if there's a vacancy, it shouldn't be filled?
Well, the law says that the composition of the Supreme Court must not be less than 9. I guess that's what it says. Shouldn't be less than 9. Aside that, of course, it should not be the fault of the president. I mean, the president has the mandate to appoint. Parliament vets, so they go through processes. But when you are appoint people who, in the eyes of the public, are purged of partisan
but that is why the Constitution, foreseeing this, asked for Parliament to be the ones to vet.
I mean,
so if Parliament, for instance, just a second, we'll be going for a break. When we come back, we'll still have ample time. But note it down, attempt to answer that for me. If this perception, let's say, goes against a certain political leaning, where their members not represented when the person came for vetting, so as to disqualify that person who may have a political leaning? Hold on to that question. We'll attempt to answer this question, and then I'll give you the chance to also express his view on it. We'll be right back. Happy Morning Show live on ETV, live on Happy 98.9 FM, Nisim 95.9 and 100.1. And then the birthday of two very special individuals, Memfa and Chia and Kumom, and I wish you more happy birthday. And then the birthday of CEO for Johani Auto Co Limited. Now Johani for Sabana AC Huns and some dia na onim se John Anane and the team no one more ewo honoma one more a day a year in Fidie pa one more de beyo wakan ho adwuma e de ama John and your birthday. Happy birthday to you from myself, from the entire sales team, from the entire Global Media Alliance, wishing you the very best of the day. Our team is also Andy, or send him a WhatsApp and people say, boss, tell my boss I love him very much and I appreciate him so much. And happy birthday to you, John. Wishing you the very best of the day. I'm hoping say Johani for and Mobeto party. No matter sa Eddie affair yaba na yabe chele. But I wish you the very best. You're a great guy. You're a fantastic guy. And I wish you the very best this morning, my brother. Yentwaso Namenfa and Chia Kesie Enso Enkoma Mark Paradise Okocha Jr. Akure me no hoyi maro for boho no mistake no bedroom mohanama. Menino edit. But he's a fantastic boy. Mark Paradise Okocha Jr. and your birthday. And this is to wish you a happy birthday. Oko School, a step-by-step Montessori, and you're 12 years today. Happy birthday to you, my son. And I wish you the very best. It's coming from mommy and daddy. They say they love you so much. And daddy says that today, wallahi talahi, the miracles you will perform, the cake, the outing, the birthday, all your wishes, daddy says he will grant them. And so happy birthday to you, Mark Paradise Okocha Jr. And then happy birthday to you, John Anane, CEO, Johani. Yentwasuni Ninkomo, Yembra back to the studio. Dave, 2 minutes. Namenje, remember you have 5 minutes. No, maybe 2 minutes here because I've given you a lot. And remember 2 minutes, now the 5 minutes, I need to be a phone line no at your tomorrow. Yeah, so better maybe. On the tangent I was going, say, Ubisa question. Yeah. Say, are we saying, say, Parliament doesn't do its due diligence, especially when it comes to the perception is that let's operate hypothetically with the perception is okay. The present judges, and now said the individuals who were nominated to occupy these positions, before even they became justices of the Supreme Court, there was a perception about them. So, woman, pro MPP. If they are pro MPP and they are political, one more echo through Verdita. Vetina, not NDC members of parliament. Yeah. Say, open who for that question. Either you go back to the vetting and pick one by one the kind of things that had emerged on some of these justices during the vetting and how they were eventually given the nod to go. I mean, I said. So you think that the NDC members of parliament allowed them to pass? You see, I mean, you have followed these vetting issues and you know what happens there. If you don't know, I know that there are so many things that come up. I can recall some of the issues that came up when Chief Justice Eniebua was being vetted. I can recall things that came up when Justice Yoni Kuleni was being vetted. I can recall when Justice Nene Amegache was being vetted. Just go back and pick those things. I think that and beyond that, I'm not alleging that they do not qualify to be. I am still maintaining that perception is very much important. And then I would push quickly into if the justices are to consider the spirit and the letter of the Constitution in interpreting some of these things. The separation of powers is something that is guarded jealously even by the Constitution. And whatever decision we take, because it's looking like there's a seeming fire, breeding from, the conflict coming in between the judiciary and parliament. Whatever interpretations are, that I know more of these interpretations are going to come in the future. When they come,
the justices must think about this country. They must consider the fact that the constitution is there. Whatever decision they take would affect what we do today and what we do tomorrow.
Dave, Mamenje, your views. 5 minutes now, you know, maybe a phone line listening to me.
The justices must think about this country. What does it mean?
You want to take that to Supreme Court for interpretation?
No, what does it mean?
Upi so answer now because is it rhetorical or you want him to answer?
This is a public platform.
Okay.
What I say, you know, people appointed by the President of the Republic of Ghana, vetted by the Parliament of Ghana, and approved by the Parliament of Ghana are persons of high integrity. So if you have any issue and you think, now they are in public service or public office, so you can raise it so that we all look into it. But to say that they must think about this country, so what for the interpretation naturally means that
your
interpretation
should be your
actions
interpretation.
of theirs means they are not thinking about this country. That's what they are saying. But moving on, if you want to react, I'll give you the chance.
Yes, I can react.
Yeah, do.
Proceed.
Proceed.
Yeah,
because
I am the
they
moderator.
must think about
David, you are down.
Even you and I, when we are talking here, we must think about this country.
We need
David, you are down.
I agree.
Yes.
And we think about it. But when it has to do with when there's a matter at issue, and your suggestion is that the matter has been given the kind of outcome which doesn't inure to your feelings or your benefit, and for which reason you think that that action was made based on certain feelings and not based on the standard procedure.
I don't think I made that.
No,
that's the interpretation.
No, so far, what David has said has to do with perceptions and their importance when it comes to politics. Perceptions about the various arms of government, executive,
of course,
judiciary.
I appreciate your point and the fact that you
So-
are trying
so-
to,
so let's proceed.
to refine, to make it
So let's
so that
proceed.
he appears to be.
So let's proceed.
But the point is, you see, you ask him a question. When Dr. Afari-Gyan had to go on retirement, who was the president of Ghana at that time? Wasn't it John Mahama? Is he mandated by law to appoint a successor? The Supreme Court that we have in Ghana, the judges that are going on pension or retirement, who has a mandate to appoint or to nominate persons? Is it not the President of the Republic? So is it Akufo-Addo's fault or the current president fault that he's a president and that at his time that persons who are serving, he had a mandate to nominate persons for approval into the Supreme Court? Are you saying, say, late President Mills, late Rawlings, Kufuor and others, when it was mandated by law to appoint people per vacancies available, they were wrong? Or because at that time it was Rawlings or it was Atta Mills, and so nothing wrong, or it was John Mahama, nothing wrong with that?
But yeah, on the matter of the replacement for Afari-Gyan, I mean, we saw the concerns raised about Charlotte Osei then, when her name came up from the opposition about she being
eventually what happened.
Yes, eventually what had to be done. So the perception issue comes in.
No.
From David's angle.
So the question really is not about the perceived mentality or views people have about. No. The question is the person who has the mandate by law to do the appointment, do we deny that person the right?
No.
So what's the issue here?
I didn't say we should deny him the right.
But that's what you said.
No, I didn't.
So what do you mean by saying
something else?
With your friends, you know, if you say so, what are you trying to say? Is it the fault of the president, or Sami here has a mandate to decide who sits on this panel, and Sami says that I want A, B, C, and you are now questioning the power given to him by law, by bringing us here? It's not fair, and we don't.
What is not fair? Do I respond to what?
You see, Dave. No, you are down.
Who said when you come in?
You see, the reason why, because you see, Dave, there are mechanisms to check any abuse when it comes to appointments and nominations of individuals to these high positions.
So I've not faulted any mechanism.
Good.
What I said
but you question
was that perceptions.
No, you question.
And the perception
you question the authority.
No.
That's what he said. Okay, say Dipa Baako. Wapaki Supreme Court. What does it mean? He's not trying to question. He's questioning
that at least 10
of the
present composition of Supreme Court.
Yeah, the brand new on my way. Sabi, you take Ghana as a CA, Nipa obetimi making decision on behalf of Ghana, Ghana president. It doesn't matter who is the president, whether Mahama, whether your friend say Nanado or whoever. So long as at the moment now, at the end now na tia kunja so no, when a Ghana amount to me say to sana one way. And so please, you may disagree with the persons appointed or nominated, and that is why we have, as a people of Ghana, we have 275 representatives in Parliament. The president has a right. Has a mandate.
I'm not taking the president's right from him. Neither have I questioned his right. I'm saying
he appoints them,
and
then they went to Parliament for vetting, and then you are saying, you are saying, your friend is saying, even the nominees, the issues you have, and Animado, Animyabua, and all those things. I mean, now come on. Of course, we know Chechu and all those things that they raise, the issues that they raise and try to pump into the minds of people just because of a certain hatred.
Oh.
No, let's not go into that.
Let's not go there. But
that's what. That is the mentality.
I will urge you to retract that statement for us to proceed, please.
I will, so far as
I think that he's doing political debate.
I have.
Let's proceed. Name your phone lines no and to Emma Oman 4. Number of friend no 0244885140 and 0549508687 0549 ubetimi for any of these numbers now on me heading come 0244885140 and 0549508687 but offer no abodin anyway be offer free. No hurling of insults, no hurling of abuses, just go straight to the point. Hello, good morning.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
You see, at times...
Body Mami, mention your name or where you're calling from, please.
Eric Asojamani.
Eric Yanko.
At times, I don't know. Some of the MPP communicators, they don't want to say the right thing, always lying. Why? Tammy, what are we heading towards? Goodbye.
Medals and a person of friend Albert Media. So for the record, there is no NDC communicator in my studio, neither is there an MPP communicator in my studio. I only have editors expressing their views on matters of national interest in the studio. Two from here, no about baby, I will free. No personality attacks, no hurling of insults, but just go straight to the point and let your views be heard. 0549508687 and 0244885140. Any of these numbers, obeti me afre na onime Eddie and Commons who are expressing views on the Supreme Court ruling. Now also
hello, good morning.
Yes, morning.
Medini Opare.
Opare. Ofrefre.
The first Koforodia.
Opare Bachenko.
Me intiasi bu ha me intiasi. Me fair court ama judgment efa kwa said the deputy speaker na betimi ato aba. Na tiasi. Ne mo no emu ya me wiram kakra. Ni wiram me de me mraro na wiram ya banya. Abentina obi a wotie konya so. Na ebetimi asa ato aba. Enchine ma matuma fra mo kana kire say because of so we parliament or MP edema nipakuo bi ntino ese so no so etonaba na nipa wotie konwam a woye obi a wotie konwam de ma parliament na wo say nipakura say timi koto aba ana say wotimi debate na mfaso be na wo say e bi obi be tina o say
maybe say question me bacho. Are we also saying, sir, electoral commissioner because we EC chair nintino want to have because MPP NDC Obaba ko beto amomo
obayi me fan ko ha yen fan ko ha kra we de ko ha enye adwuma efi say we ye parliament assembly ye kan we mra se be dwuma assembly ye kan na adme ye na ye mra krampo ye hu say judgment wo ma ye no e mo na ho obi o tie ko ye mo
how the other me fa ho no ma tie how do me fa ho no ma me ma fa ho obetimi express your views on it, but to pass judgment on the judgment in Bacho Daddy.
All right,
Medas and pay say also so firm about Jimedino. So we are allowed to express our views and opinions on the judgment that the Supreme Court gave, but to pass judgment on the judgment, no. Hello, good morning.
Agbomo.
Yes, sir.
Agbomo to your turn.
Ofane. Oh sister. Minine.
Tell me. It's in okay to me interpreting my one.
There be so of us attempt me. They be offering us attempt me. Me patch us our sister now the mama no he.
Na senior son no can no.
Na me can say.
Imbele yo.
Yo, o sister imbele yo. Ibaba. Eche.
Yo, the man.
Now you are running away from my gun.
Because why?
Yanko.
As for the engagement there some way, or that here, Obi are beside the vote. I don't know how can you vote? Mami. Why? Tell me, but that's it.
Meadows and a place of friend about Medino so 0244885140 0549508687. Hello, good morning. All right. I'm so Nipan not OT no ho betimi afre 0244885140 0549508687. Any of these numbers no or betimi afre now so only the enkomo and pay Medino. So hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes sir, please udini baby afre free.
Good morning.
Yes sir, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling from Kwashima. I'm Joshua.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my friend the other side. The one who speaks like I know is not a MPP or an NDC person. He seems to be attacking the other person. When we all Ghanaians, we know what is happening in this country.
You're confusing me. What are you saying?
The editor at the other side. Yeah.
Okay, so you're listening to yourself, so it's giving me a lot of feedback. Chief, lower your TV. Too bad. The TV is so loud, he's listening to himself, so it makes the conversation a bit difficult. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello.
Morning, I hear you, sir.
Yeah, okay. My name is Michael.
From
Sukura.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. But they are doing program in the telly.
Come again, sir.
Pardon me.
I didn't hear what you said.
Good morning.
Yes, morning.
Yeah, morning.
Chief, I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, the person is. Please take him off. The person is still listening to himself and attempting to have the conversation. Hello, good morning.
Am I speaking on this television show?
Yes, you are speaking. Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Bawe Zero. My name is Isaac.
Isaac, go ahead, sir.
Hello, good morning. Am I speaking on...
Isaac, I see that you are listening to yourself. You want to hear what you're saying. Could you kindly put up the TV so we have a meaningful conversation?
No, I'm not near the TV.
Go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Too bad. Please, Mofra na TV set no all low one and as what do no. Say radio be na benwa and also low one and I said do no ni intimidating come because who tie ho na me din come
Because if you like.
Hello? Too bad.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, fire final call na fe ni wrap up studio na yen to aso na yen so. Hello, good morning.
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 Yeah, I called earlier from Kwashima.
Go ahead.
And I was making a submission about the menu.
Now, we are all in this country and we've seen what is happening. And I don't see the reason why he comes and sit on set and then begin to attack his opponent. We have seen what is going on when the Supreme Court is not neutral of anything. When the Supreme Court gives judgment, everybody is allowed to say his or her view or express his or her view. He cannot sit there and be
no, sir. I will not allow for you to attack the personality of Yao. No. He has expressed his view. David has also expressed his view. You can also come and express your view without necessarily attacking his personality. I would not allow that. We are unable to pick any more calls this morning. I mean, you have comments in free. Yao, any Dave one, Sanya, sorry, so I'm pay. Dave, I mean, you wrap up comment in a minute.
Wrap up comment.
You have nothing to wrap up.
Me back to national anthem, but I'm sure we all know it. Let's all be guided by it in everything we do. That's all I can say.
The national anthem?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
You said it. Say you better na asundwe about my Ghana mo. I said it. Say you free na ya kasa ye kwa ebetimi akọ na asan aba. Enti niema na hyehyɛ a ebetimi ama ya kwan so aye jojo no. Yemfa ni nyina ngu ho. Ne aban anase ne mpanfo de beba bia ebetimi ama ya kwan so asundwe aba ho no. Omie emwa na yen support. Esan se nkwanhyia esi ewo ya kwan so anipa ehwe omo nkwa no. Ade a eyehu yi.
Like and subscribe and click on the notification. Happy FM, Nimdie, Happy FM, and Nijenkwa.